Hello everybody, I'd like to show you a few more question styles that you're going to see in Edulastic. It's pertinent that you're familiar with them so that you can easily complete your assignments. You've already seen me use the Scratchpad tools to create a model. That's a common question you're going to see. Another type of question you're going to see is where you are calculating something. We do a lot of math and chemistry, and so here's just a sample question. Calculate the height of Mount Everest. And let's say you did your math and you get an answer. What I'd like to show you is how these two math boxes work. So the first one is where you're going to type your answer, and the answer is 8,488 meters. But notice you've got all these options. You can use math symbols. You can create fractions. You can use square roots and cube roots, and you can even use exponents. So the math or the fraction one is convenient. We use ratios a lot. So let's say you need to create a ratio. You'll hit the fraction button, you'll type the numerator, and then you just arrow down and you can type the denominator. Let's say you wanted to use the square root symbol. You click on that and it adds it for you, and you just type your numbers, so on and so forth. The exponent button is very nice. Let's say you needed to create an answer with an exponent. So after you type your number that the exponent goes on, you hit that button and you can add your exponent. And this is useful because we use scientific notation quite a bit in chemistry. One of the numbers you're going to run across a lot is called Avogadro's number. And it is 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd power. So I need to put a superscript, an exponent of 23 on here. So I can click this button on 10, and then I'm able to type 23. All right, so those are pretty useful skills. But again, the answer to the height of Mount Everest is 8,488 meters. So you type your answer in there, and then you have a drop-down box for your units. And these are all metric units, and you scroll down until you find the one you need, and here's meters. Another type of question is one where you're just typing your answers. This is a short answer question, so it gives you the space in this box. How many states are in the US? 50 states. And you can type anything in there that you could do with your keyboard. There's nothing specific that you need to click on like with the math tools. And finally, the last type of question I want to show you is oftentimes with math questions in chemistry, we need to see your work to appropriately assess you, to appropriately figure out if you answered the question correctly. Because we're not always just looking for an answer, we need to see your work. So a lot of times what we're going to ask you to do is to do your math on paper, take a picture of that work, and upload it as part of your answer. And so here's a thing where you'll see this in the question, upload an image of your work. And so this is just a sample, describe yourself. So I'm going to click on this green button here and upload a file, and I'm going to go find a file on my computer, one that I have appropriately named so I could find quickly, and we'll go with that one. And then we'll see that it attaches it to the answer with the file name and the type of file it is, and then you could continue on. Another thing I'd like to show you is a couple of things up top. You can move back and forth between questions with this arrow. You could submit your work with this button, but make sure you know everything is done, or you can navigate between the questions with this drop-down menu. Say I wanted to go back to question 2. Or let's say that question 1 gave us a little trouble and we wanted to come back to it. If you click this bookmark button, it adds a little yellow flag there, and now in your menu, your drop-down menu, you see that you've got a flag to remind you to come back to that. All right. So there's a lot of different tools in Edulastic that you're going to use. Hopefully they're pretty intuitive, and if you ever have questions, you can always reach out to me or Miss Ullrey.